Archie, how are you?
For me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for those surprise birthday gifts. We found them this morning when we opened the door. It was so exciting. And that was the best card ever. So I want to say a big thank you.
Yeah, that is my mom's favorite cup and plate. You can take it to picnic with Kristen too.
I was thinking that it would be good for going on a picnic or maybe even for going camping.
Yeah, we usually take it to camping.
Well, that's great. So thank you so much. Are you having a good moon festival?
Yeah.
Are you doing anything special?
No.
Well, Kristen and I cleaned out the whole house yesterday, and then we celebrated by spending the afternoon.
Movie.
What?
My dad said when he put the gift in the front door, he just hear the movie.
We watched a kind of a double feature. That means two movies in a row that go together, and they were called The Fantastic Beasts. They are written by the same person that wrote the Harry Potter stories, and it takes place back in the 1920s, I think. It is before Harry Potter was born. And instead of being in England, it starts out in America. And it has a different main character. So it's not about Harry Potter. But it is still a story that has the wizard group of people that can do magic and the regular people who can't do magic. And then there's kind of a big adventure story. And I guess they're going to make 5 movies to go with this one story, to tell one story.
Oh, I know what movie did you look.
So
I know.
They've only made the first 2 movies, and we saw them yesterday. And I think the 3rd movie is supposed to come out next summer. But
yeah,
it's a really well done movie. The actors are fantastic. The story is really interesting. So we really enjoyed it. But it can also be a little bit like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So it's kind
scary.
of suspenseful. Yeah, and it can be a little bit, it can feel a little bit scary when it's very suspenseful. And we're not sure if everyone is going to be okay and what's going to happen next. And so I probably would not have shown it to Kristen when she is your age. I think that it's maybe better for teenagers or adults, but it was very exciting.
Did you and Kristen eat popcorn while you watch the movies?
I wish. I love eating popcorn when we watch a movie, but we didn't have any popcorn and I didn't think about it. I wish I thought about it. That would have been a great idea. Anyway, it was fun. And the music, I think they can make a movie even more exciting and even more suspenseful with the music that they use. And I really enjoyed the music with these 2 movies. So I kind of turned it up loud to hear the music. And so I bet your dad could hear it through the door.
Yeah, I watched that movie before.
Called Fantastic Beasts. It's kind of hard to say. It's kind of hard to say that word. I'm going to show it to you. It's sometimes English words are hard to say when there's a lot of consonants at the end of the word that have no vowel sounds between them. So it's easy to say b, and then we have the EA digraph, And that's easy to say, E, B. And then we have all of these consonant sounds. So there's this. So we can make one consonant sound, beast. And we can even make the blend of the ST, beast, beast. But then it becomes tricky because there's more than one beast. So we have to add that other S, but there's no vowel sound in here. We don't say beasties. And so we just have to say beast, beast. And it's really tricky for the mouth. Beast.
Beast.
Yeah. You know, the other word that I've always found hard to say is months, right? It's easy to say month. Well, it's a little bit tricky to say month. The TH is the digraph. So we have it's a blend of the N and the TH. So we have month. But then when we have more than one month and we want to add the S on the end, then it gets really tricky because we have months, months. But I think beasts is even harder. I think it's hard. It's easy to say beast, but then to just put a S on the end and not have any vowel here is hard. Beasts. So it takes some practice. Anyway, Fantastic Beasts. That was a good movie. And we enjoyed that. That was what I wanted to do for my birthday. And
did you know why month is called month? Because month, the MON means moon. Because 1 month the moon come around Earth 1 time. So it's called month. Moon.
Wow. Very interesting. Thank you for sharing that with me. Did you learn that in the class you took about space?
Yeah.
Oh, you learned so much. Now you can teach me. Yay! Well, we had a little glimpse of the zombie pigmen last time. We see that in the title, Zombie Pigmen. And we took a look at what one looks like at the very end of the last video. Are you hiding from it because it looks so scary, or are you showing me your stuffed animal from England? So here is the zombie pigman, and this is the regular pigman. And we learned that a regular pigman is in Minecraft world. And so for some reason, you know, I kind of wonder about these people that created Minecraft and their imagination, and how in the world did they come up with the idea of taking a pig and having it stand in 2 feet and calling it humanoid form. Humanoid starts with the word human, which is a person standing on 2 feet. So a pig in humanoid form would be a pig standing on 2 feet. I don't know who would come up with that idea. And then they have the zombified pigmen called the zombie pigmen. And they say they have been a part of the Nether. And the Nether is this place that has a lot of fire and lava. Kind of makes me think of inside a volcano or something. And there's these rivers of fire. Those pictures aren't very good. Let's try these. So you can see here in Minecraft world, this looks like a waterfall of fire down to a river of fire. This does not look like a happy place to be. It looks like the picture for chapter 12. I'm not sure. These look like swords, don't they?
The zombie pigman sword.
Well, let's take a look at the title. I always like looking at the titles in this book because the author tries to be so funny, and sometimes he uses rhyme and sometimes he uses both literal and figurative meaning mixed together, and he always comes up with something creative. He says, a monument to wonder to splendor to zombie pigmen. So I'm not really sure what that means, but I think monument is the ocean monument that they found down at the bottom of the ocean. Wonder is the first part of wonderful, but wonder is a verb, which means we wonder about something. We have questions, we're curious, or we could say we are filled with wonder, which means we are just in awe of the splendor of how beautiful and amazing something is, how wonderful it is. And then maybe they're really impressed by how beautiful and amazing the ocean monument is, and then maybe they're going to run into some zombie pigmen. So we are ready.
Zombie pigmen.
Okay, here we go. Jody held up her sword the moment they entered the ocean monument. Morgan had told her to expect more guardians, and she wanted to be ready. But she wasn't ready for what they found inside. Nothing could have prepared her for the sight, because inside the monument were dozens of undead humanoid pigs. I don't really understand the word undead. Have you ever heard this word before? Undead. I really don't understand what it is. I mean, I know that the prefix un means not. So undead should mean not dead, okay? And I think where people use it is when people talk about zombies. As far as I'm concerned, if someone asks me, a zombie is not real, it's just fiction. And the idea of being undead is also not real, it's just fiction. But if we see that in a story, I think they're talking about zombie. And I think of a zombie as just a fictional thing, just like a wizard or an elf or a goblin or a troll. So when they say undead humanoid pigs, I think that's what they're talking about, is these zombie pigmen that look like this. So this is what they would find down in the ocean monument. And they have gleaming swords, and there's dozens of them. 1 dozen is 12. So if there's more than 1 dozen, that means at least 24, 12 plus 12. If it's 3 dozen, that would be 36. Do you know how much 4 dozen would be?
$45.
Almost. Kristen? 48.
48.
Yep. Okay. What are they? Jody whispered. She peeked around the corner for a better view. Zombie pigmen, Morgan said gravely. Now, gravely is an important word in this sentence because it tells us how Morgan is talking. And gravely means very, very serious. He knows this is a big problem. But Poe giggles. That seems weird. If the problem is so serious and so grave, why is Poe giggling? But he does. Poe giggled. Sorry, he said. You just sounded so serious. Well, that's true. Gravely means very serious. And those things are so weird. Normally, Jody and Poe laughed at the same things. But Jody didn't find the pigmen funny. They looked a little like pigs, but they walked on 2 legs. That would be creepy enough. But they were also rotting, undead things, which sounds really disgusting to me. Jody could see gleaming white bones where their flesh had peeled away. Yuck. I can't believe this isn't a children's story. Should we keep reading? She shuddered. There's no way we can fight them all, she said. Fortunately, we don't have to, said Ash. They aren't hostile. Hostile means they want, wanting to hurt you, mean, right? The hostile mobs want to do damage. They want to hurt someone. So for some reason, these zombie pigmen are not hostile. The undead animal people holding swords aren't hostile? Jody asked. Yeah, I agree with her. She's like, are you kidding me? The undead animal people holding swords are not dangerous? She says, are you sure? Totally.
It is not hostile.
They're not hostile. Why?
It is just standing there.
They're just standing there. They're not attacking. Totally, said Morgan. Watch. And he stepped around the corner where the room full of pigmen would be able to see him. They didn't even react. That's the good news, Ash said, and she joined Morgan among the pigmen. But there's a catch. Zombie pigmen don't usually spawn anywhere but the Nether. Now, the Nether, so we have a couple Minecraft words here. So spawn is a Minecraft word, zombie pigmen is a Minecraft word, and the Nether is a Minecraft word. So we've heard the word spawn before because remember, before they unplug and take off their VR headsets, they need to know where their spawning point is. Because when they come back the next day and put their VR headsets back on, they're going to arrive at the last place that they made a spawning point. So if they had traveled for a long way, then they need to make a new spawn point before they take their headset off, or they're going to go back to where they started and have to do it all over again. So if the zombie pigmen don't, here they're saying the zombie pigmen don't spawn in the ocean monument, they spawn in the Nether. So and here we can see a drawing of the zombie pigmen and their swords. But we're going to zoom in, so we're going to lose that picture. So the fact that they're here is another clue that someone is messing with the game, messing with us. Okay, they're saying zombie pigmen should be in the Nether, not in the ocean monument. So if they are here, they say that's evidence or a clue that someone else is here. Someone else is messing with the game, messing with us. What's the Nether? Jody asked. A scary place, Morgan answered. It's another dimension, one that is basically on fire. So dimension would be like a different reality, you know, not on Earth. Let's avoid that, said Poe with mock seriousness. Mock means he doesn't really mean it. He's pretending. He's pretending to be serious. But I think Poe has a hard time being serious because he's such a kidder. He likes to see the light side in things and to, he likes to look for the funny side of things. They walked into the next room. Although one thing that Poe was not giggling about and did not find funny was when he saw Ricky, his teammate on the basketball team, wearing the necklace made out of coral. You know, Poe was serious about that. He did not find that funny. But in general, I think Poe tries to find the funny side of things and not be so serious. They walked into the next room. The monument was huge with high ceilings and tall columns. All of it was the same eerie green color. Eerie is this adjective that makes us feel like, ew, it's kind of creepy. Except for the pigmen, it appeared empty. This is all so strange, said Morgan. This place should be full of water. It should contain guardians like the one we fought yesterday. Look there, said Ash. Prismarine. We saw that yesterday. Remember that the monument, the ocean monument, is made out of these prismarine blocks. And if you kill a guardian, you get a prismarine shard. And that you can put that in your inventory. Look there, said Ash. Prismarine. Jody saw what Ash was pointing to. It was a piece of green material. It's the same material the Guardian dropped after it was destroyed, Ash said. Does that mean there was a Guardian here? That someone already defeated it? Oh man, Poe said. Someone beat us to the treasure, didn't they? So right here is the Prismarine Shard. And they would see this after someone defeats a Guardian. So if they're finding the Prismarine Shard and not seeing a Guardian, that's why they're thinking, someone got here first. Someone came here before us and defeated a Guardian and left the Prismarine Shard. It reminds them that there's someone else in the game. And I keep thinking of that 6th VR headset that went missing. So here they are in the Ocean Monument. I think this is Harper, and this is Morgan. This is Jody. This is Ash. This must be Poe, and this must be a zombie pigment. And here is the Prismarine Shard. Maybe if that map was actually leading us towards treasure in the first place, Morgan said, but they don't know that for sure. Let's keep looking around. Jody let her brother walk ahead of her. She hung back to walk with Harper. Are you okay, Harper? She asked. You seem awfully quiet. I'm fine, Harper said, just lost in thought. Well, being lost in thought means we're just daydreaming. We're busy thinking about something. We're so busy thinking about something in our mind that we're not really having conversation with people around us. Jody stopped walking, so Harper had to stop too. You're doing it again, she said. Harper looked confused. Doing what? She asked. You're worrying about a problem, Jody said. And instead of asking for help or even just talking to us about it, you're trying to put all the responsibility on your own shoulders. But you don't have to fix everything, Harper. You're not alone. You know, I think this is actually a really important part of the story. This is, I think, one of the messages that the author wants to give the reader. Maybe even a theme. A theme is a message that the author wants to give us about life. And, you know, in the last chapter, Harper had said, this problem is too big to be fixed. There is no solution to this problem. It is too big. And we talked about how she really didn't seem to be having the attitude, the positive attitude of being a problem solver. Instead, she was just worrying about it. And here Jody is saying to her, you know what, Harper? You can't solve every problem by yourself. You don't have to solve every problem by yourself. You have friends. We are a team. We can work together to help solve the problem. So Jody says to her, you don't have to fix everything by yourself. Right? She says, you're just trying to put all the responsibility for fixing this problem on your own shoulders, and you're not talking to your friends about it. We can help. We can work together to help. I think the message from the author is teamwork. And instead of trying to fix everything by yourself, tell your friends, talk about it, share the responsibility, work together as a team, and you can solve problems. Harper sighed. Maybe you're right. I'm just thinking about that coral jewelry. I'm afraid Theo has started a trend that will cause a lot of damage. Remember, starting a trend means that maybe it started with one person, and then it became 2, and then 4, and then 8, and then 20, and then 50, and then 100, and it just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. So here is Jody talking to Harper. And I think even though Jody is a year younger than the others, she really has some wisdom here to share with Harper. And Jody says, well, maybe we can do something about it, Jody said. Like what? Harper said. I've been trying to figure something out all day. I don't think it's possible to stop a trend. But trends die all the time, said Poe. They get replaced by new trends. And I don't think the coral jewelry will be popular for long, said Morgan. It loses a lot of its color once you take it out of the water, just like the coral Jody took from the ocean here. And it's fragile, Ash said. Half that jewelry is going to end up breaking. It's not durable, like metal or gemstones. That's kind of funny, Poe said. For once, fakes would actually be better than the real thing. Jody and Harper looked at each other. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Harper asked. That Poe is a secret genius? Jody guessed. I am? Poe asked. He seemed to give it some thought before quietly deciding she was right. She was probably right. He was a genius. Fake coral might be just what we need, Harper said. We could create pieces that are more colorful and more durable. Durable means they will last for a long time and not break so easily than the real thing. Everyone could have coral jewelry and no actual coral would be destroyed. They're coming up with a good solution here. And we'd get to make beautiful, colorful, unique pieces of art, Jody said, bouncing on her feet, all while raising awareness of the problems facing coral reefs. That's what Theo wanted to do in the first place. Harper had really been worrying about this big problem that everyone at school wants to get coral jewelry. And so divers are going down and taking coral from the coral reef in order to sell it as jewelry, and that's hurting the coral reef. And so their idea that they came up with together through talking about this together was actually Poe's idea, even though he didn't realize it, is to make coral jewelry that is not made out of coral, that it's not real coral, but it looks like coral. And so they can, you know, the problem with real coral is you take it out of the ocean and it loses its color a little bit. It's not so bright and it loses its strength and it can break. It's brittle, so it can break really easily. But if you make the jewelry out of something that looks like coral, but it's not, you can make it so that it keeps its bright color and that it's not going to break so easily. It will still look like coral, and that will remind people of coral, and that will remind people of how important it is to protect the coral reef. And yet it will still, everyone will still be happy about wearing jewelry that looks like coral jewelry. It just won't hurt the coral reef. Instead, it will help the coral reef by raising awareness of the importance of protecting the coral reef. So they're really excited about this idea. And so they end by saying, I'm going to start right here, stop here. Harper laughed. I love it, she said. Jody flushed with happiness. See what happens when you talk it out, she said. But Morgan shushed her. And this is where we're going to stop because Morgan sees something. And so they're going to stop talking about the coral jewelry problem, and they're going to face something in the ocean monument that we will see tomorrow or on Thursday. All right, what color do you want your star? Blue? Okay.
So.
So long.
Chatter. Chat.
Bye, Archie.
Bye.